Okay, this video is going to show the difference between a traditional hip flexor stretch and one that is more targeted for the rectus femoris, which is one of the quadricep muscles, but it's also a hip flexor, okay? So if I'm going to stretch this right hip flexor, if I have my knee on the ground and all I'm doing is shifting forward, this is a good stretch. This is a good stretch for some of the hip flexor muscles, predominantly the iliopsoas muscle, okay? That's usually the main hip flexor muscle that we're talking about, okay? You also want to make sure that you have this femur slightly internally rotated because the insertion point is going to get a little bit farther away and it's going to increase the stretch as you move in and out. When you do this stretch, you want to make sure that your torso is nice and tall. You're not leaning forward, because as soon as you lean forward, you're decreasing the stretch, you're increasing slack on the muscle, and you're losing the stretch. So nice and tall torso, in and out, for the iliopsoas, okay? One of the main hip flexor muscles. Now, if you want to get into the rectus femoris, which is a very specific hip flexor muscle, which is also one of the quadricep muscles, one of the four, you want your foot to be up high on something. So right here I have a couch, you can use a chair, you can use a bench, something like that. But what this does is it's flexing my knee, which is stretching the quadricep. So I'm starting the position in a stretched quadricep position. Now from this, all I'm going to do is the same thing. I'm going to drive forward. Again, I'm keeping my torso tall and back. Forward and back. Now as I go forward and back, I'm stretching my hip flexors, but predominantly that rectus femoris because of the knee flexion. Just moving in and out, preferably in a dynamic position, in and out. It's just a little bit more comfortable for the muscle, okay? So this is a predominant rectus femoris or quad hip flexor stretch, and then the knee down on the ground with the foot down on the ground is more of a predominant iliopsoas hip flexor stretch, okay? So two variations, but both important for different reasons, okay? Thank you very much.